All right. Hello, everybody. We're back. We're live. We're doing a thing. It's Calm and Fury. Once again, every Sunday around this time. We got Angel over here. You got myself. My graphics did not pop up. There they go.
I'm just stunned that you no
Trindominus.
longer have your beard.
Oh, yeah. I guess you missed.
Stunned.
I forgot it. Yeah, there was a whole Instagram thing. We did a vote. 2-1 voted against keeping the beard, so it's gone now. But here we are, yeah.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean, wow?
That's what's up. Okay. That's cool.
Well, how was your week, Angel?
My week was pretty good. Can't really complain.
Are you stroking your beard? I'm not envious in any way or jealous. I needed to lose the beard. I was looking pretty caveman-ish.
Oh, word? Wow, that's all good. Week was pretty good. I'm trying to think what I did. So I finished up Bloodborne. I beat Minecraft Dungeons, and then I moved on to two other titles. I moved on to Wolfenstein,
The New
First
Order
Blood,
or whatever.
New Order, whatever it is. Yeah,
One
so I
of
jumped
them.
onto that, and then in the middle of playing that, I encountered some glitches that upset me, and then I jumped over to Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was the multiplayer was also a glitch fest, but I'm going through the campaign on that, so that's where I am right now.
Oh, you said Battlefront 2?
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2, because it's free
Okay.
on PlayStation Plus right now.
Gotcha. I don't know why that didn't just register in my brain when you said it. Well, yeah, I didn't get to play many video games this week. I'm just, I guess I'm not playing video games anymore. It just seems like that's what's going on. I did play a game I've been trying to play for a while, and it was the middle of the night. I didn't feel like streaming, but I turned on the game. It's called The Outer Wilds. It was like,
That was really good.
yeah, that's what I heard too. And I played it, and I got really pissed off. I was not
Why?
expecting, it's just the way, the first run, I was like really mad because I just didn't understand the way the game was going to be. And so I jumped down a well thinking my character would like at least hold his breath for maybe 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. No, my character died instantly after 3 seconds before I could even recognize I was in the water, and I was mad enough. And the game is like a permadeath thing, so you die and then you have to start all the way over unless you like were able to save at some point.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was like only 22. Is it 22 days or 22 hours? There's a clock where it resets anyway. It's like every 22 something.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
you didn't get that far, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I did play it again. I played it without looking at the reviews because the only reason why I played it is because it's been on my Xbox for, I don't know, 5 years. It was gifted to like every Xbox E3 viewer on Mixer like in 2014 or 2015. And so,
okay.
and then the game finally came out in 2018 or 2019, and I just never touched it because by that point I already forgot about it. I'm just like, I'll get to it eventually. So I just turned it on. That first run went poorly. I did a second run. I made it to space. And then I died in space. So I haven't picked it up then. But I did. After the first run, I got mad and I'm like, well, this game can't be good. I got to look at some of these reviews. So I looked at the reviews. I looked at some of the opinions on it, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it another try. And I jumped back into it. Was a little bit more careful. I still ended up dying because I didn't manage my resources, but I did have a little bit more fun the second time around. But yeah, I also played Lee Carvalho's putting challenge. Now, if you're a Simpsons fan, you know all too well Lee Carvalho's putting challenge. But apparently somebody in Unity decided to make a fan game of it. Basically, it's basically the same like run through from the show. I guess let me pull up the clip from the show, and then we will pull up the game. Hold on. Okay, it didn't pause. That's cool. Thanks, thanks YouTube.
Putting challenge. I am Carvalho. Now choose a club. You have chosen a 3-wood. May I suggest a putter? 3-wood. Now enter the force of your swing. I suggest feathered touch.
Oh, there's supposed to be sound.
You have
Oh, you can't hear it?
power drive.
Wait, no,
Now,
let me check.
push 7.
Yeah, they can hear it.
8,
They can hear it.
Okay.
7. To swing.
So yeah, this like end credits scene from The Simpsons of a game, a made-up game.
Ball is in.
Someone
Parking lot. Would
made
you like
the
to
game,
play again?
and
You have selected no.
I was playing it before the stream, and here it is. Let me refresh.
Huh.
So it's the same like scenario that you saw in the show, since obviously there's not much to run. Oh geez, that might be too loud.
Welcome to Lee Carvalho's putting challenge. I am Carvalho. Now choose a club.
We're gonna go 3-wood.
You have chosen a 3-wood. May I suggest a putter?
No.
3-wood. Now enter the force of your swing. I suggest feathered touch. You have entered power drive. Now push 7, 8, 7 to swing.
Where's my keyboard? 7, 8, 7.
Ball is in. Parking lot. Would you like to play again?
No. Okay, but there you go.
You have selected no.
Shout out to whoever made that. I missed their name in the credits. Aaron Demeter.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, amazing. I love it. I played that, and then some PlayStation thing happened. I don't know if you heard about it. It was like some little thing. They did some little video. Might have been like about an hour or so long.
Yeah, it was. Unless you were there early, and then it was like an hour's worth of waiting.
Oh yeah, on that screen, I don't know why that happens. It's just, I'm gonna get a new green screen, Blue Cheese. I'm gonna put in the order probably this week because I'm tired of the $12 Home Depot green screen. Too many things I have to deal with. Well, actually, let's talk about Destiny before we hop into that, since you did write it or put it on the board.
Well, no, it's okay because it's the Destiny was gonna be a transition into PS5 because the biggest news from it is that they're gonna give you, if you have it on PS4 and then you transition over to PS5, you get a free upgrade. Basically, whatever content you've purchased on the previous console, you will get on the next console. So you'll get to play the game at 60 frames per second, whatever. But it's specific to console family or console brand. I don't know the phrase. So PS4 and PS5 will be able to play together. Xbox.
So DLC wise, you mean that what you buy carries over?
That's correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, everything's going to carry over.
Isn't that how it is now? You just download it to whatever system you have, and your your like progress carries over. But DLC is helpful, of course.
It's going to be the DLC is what's going to carry over to the next console.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Outside of that, there isn't much to talk about because they did make some changes, but there's nothing super impressive about Destiny right now after they released this new season. I mean, the planetary public event is fun, but it's basically Gambit on a planet. They have some newer weapons, but you know how Destiny is with weapons. They'll introduce some dope-ass weapons, and then they'll nerf it. Somebody will get their feelings hurt. So, I don't get too excited about weapons. It's very rare to find one weapon that continues to be legit all the way through, But that was pretty much it about about Destiny rolling into PS5.
All right. Well, I guess we'll make it a whole episode special. We're gonna just run through the whole presentation. If you haven't already seen it, well, here's your chance. It's gonna look like crap because it's at 1080p, and the stream was crap. But but you know, it happens. Whatever.
You thought the stream was crap?
It looked like crap. There's pixelation. It was at 30 frames, 1080p. It should have at least been 4K. Come on now. Come on, Sony, step your game up.
I thought it did what it needed to do, which was just show trailers, because that's basically all it was. It was a one-stop shop for trailers.
Well, the PlayStation 5 is here. We will get to look at it in the thingy. I don't even know what it was called. What was it called? The Future of Gaming Show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, it's adorable. I guess some major points there is that they're going to be releasing both a disc version and a non-disc version of said game. So those of you who have discs will still be able to play because it'll be backwards compatible with the PS4. But if you want to go all digital, you can start your all digital stuff rolling into PS5.
Well, we'll get into that when we get to the reveal and the video. But what were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying I'm curious how that's going to work, because if you can get a digital game for cheaper, that could help push everything over, because it's an eventuality, you know.
I don't think so. I think they'll still find a way to make it the same price, to get as much money as possible.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yes, I fully anticipate for them to have an all digital console, and still charge you the same amount of money for if you were to get a disc. This is about profits, so it's not for the player. It's mainly presenting the image or the perception that they're doing something for the player to make things better for the player, but it's really not. It's for the company. Going all digital it behooves the companies because they have greater control over the product that you consume. I went in depth about that when I did a stream on Destiny 2, talking about owning versus consuming.
You ever wonder, like, different choices?
So, is that what it? We're gonna watch the whole thing? Is that the plan for today?
No, we're gonna skip through some of it. We're just in the process of talking, and
so what I thought was interesting
background.
was how they opened it up, right? So they opened it up with some fancy smancy stuff, and then they had the original PlayStation opening sound, like whenever you turn the PlayStation on, that very distinct PlayStation turning on sound to hit you with the nostalgia bug. And then they jumped into things that you've already played, and they're like,
or going to play.
We're up to going to play, exactly. So it's like I thought that was pretty smart what they did there, and they made sure to pick the right titles too, you know.
I mean, sure.
Although,
except for this next part where they talk about GTA 5. They spend so much time on it. I was so like, what is the point of any of this right now?
So anyone who plays GTA 5 right now, you guys are going to be making money on it, in-game money, because they're giving all PlayStation, or I'm sorry, Grand Theft Auto 5 players, what is it, like $1 million in-game dollar
$1
credits?
million a month. Yeah, but it's still GTA 5. Why are they spending so much time? They spent a whole almost 2 minutes on it.
Because they make money off of it.
No.
They are printing money at this point.
I thought it was annoying to start the game off, or the thing off with this, but
Yeah. Why do you feel that way?
well, because I'm here for PlayStation 5 stuff, not PlayStation 4 stuff. I don't want to see anything in regards to that.
What do you mean, man? This is coming out to PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but it's not like it's gonna be any different. It's the same crap.
You know what I'm surprised they didn't have directly after that? They didn't have Skyrim come out of nowhere.
I would have turned it off if that happened. That's for sure.
Like, me too! Me too! Although, even though I'm talking shit, I would not be against playing a remastered, upgraded version of Skyrim. I would purchase it.
You
I'm
mean
that guy.
a working version of Skyrim?
Yes, that would be nice too. Let me see. So Blue is asking what's going on with GTA 5. They're just bringing it over to PlayStation 5. That's all. That's all it is. They're saying it's going to receive massive support on the PlayStation 5 console.
Well, for right now, if you play it, you'll get $1 million a month. And then when it comes out on PlayStation 5 in 2021, it'll be a part of PlayStation Plus to download for free. So if you want to continue your PlayStation, or excuse me, your GTA 5 gameplay, let me pause here because there's a whole thing about this. Then don't talk trash about Skyrim. I mean,
Damn right.
Look, I'll talk
Damn
trash
right.
about anything made by Bethesda because I hate Bethesda. But, well, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, 2021, you can continue your GTA 5 playing for some reason almost 8 years after the game came out.
Yo, bro, good games are good games. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And
sure.
Skyrim is a really good.
Well, I was talking about GTA 5, but it's also been 8 years or so since. Or
I'm
even
sorry.
more,
Yeah.
That's even been out longer. How long has Skyrim been out?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let me ask Google.
I just spelled Skyrim horribly wrong in Google.
When did Skyrim originally release?
Why did you have to speak to it? 2011.
Because I didn't want to.
I'm
2011.
fast. I'm
'cause I didn't
faster
wanna
than your
type it.
machine.
It's faster, bro. I'm operating at the speed of thought, son.
So that'll be out for almost 10 years. That's been out for almost 10 years. Not gonna help with Angel's lockpick skills. Oh.
Yeah. Yo, man. I was breaking so many. I was in the hundreds. It was terrible. It was so stressful.
All right, so there's a whole, if you haven't been on social media after this, there's a whole conspiracy theory of people saying that the people were rendered in CG on PlayStation, and Sony's not saying anything about it. This guy, not too much. I don't really see it here. But the guy from Gran Turismo, I think there's a case to be made that he was CG. We'll see in a second. Let me skip past this crap.
Like, is that a problem?
No, it's just like Sony doesn't want to come out and say anything about it. They're not admitting to or saying that they didn't do it, and so people are running rampant with the. See, even Blucci's like he looks fake.
Because they were talking about it. They don't need to. They're like, yeah, we're getting pressed, bro. It's good. And we have been seeing a bunch of deep fake videos, right? So maybe it is.
All right. So the first game, off the
It's all
bat.
simulation anyway.
Well, look, you'll see my point in a little bit. The next person looks super fake.
Let's see, what's the first game? Because I wrote a whole list of the games in order.
In order.
Oh, that's right. Except for Gran Turismo, because I skipped Gran Turismo.
No, you put it in there. Oh, you put it backwards.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they start off with Spider-Man, but not like Spider-Man 2. It's like a standalone spin-off game, which is kind of annoying. I was hoping for like a full-fledged game.
Well, I don't know. Because in this day and age, I don't know. It's difficult to. I don't know. I could just see people getting offended. You know what I mean? Because if they were like, oh, it's a spin-off of whatever, or it's a continuation of the previous story, people get butthurt. You know what I mean? Like, well, why doesn't the black guy get his own game? You know what I mean?
I mean, it is a continuation of the first game, but it's like the equivalent I've seen is like the Uncharted games and then Uncharted Lost Legacy or whatever. That's essentially how Miles Morales would fit in the Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man universe.
Bro, all I want to know is if it connects with the
All
story.
right,
of the
look at
first
this.
one.
Look at the way this guy moves. This guy is CG. Look at him. Look at him.
Well, for those of us who've been to Japan, that's how they move in real life.
No. He doesn't. He's moving at like 45 frames a second right now.
Again, you gotta go to Japan. That's how they move in real life.
You know, we're gonna look at that again. I'm gonna need you to take a closer look. Here, I'll throw on the music for you. It's not real, man. He ain't real.
What do you think? Do you guys hear anything on stream?
Why do you not hear audio?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't.
Anyway, well, they heard it. You didn't hear the joke, but they heard it.
That's weird. Why is this sound not working on Mixer?
On Mixer? What are you watching on Mixer for?
Oh, so I can look at if anything comes up in the Mixer chat.
Do you have it muted? Like the page?
Okay, I just had to refresh it.
Or that works too.
Shout out to Microsoft. Yeah, as soon as they started talking about Gran Turismo, I skipped it.
Well, I guess we can do that. It looks.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't look.
But
that
I know there are
great.
people who play it. It's just me. What's up, Joe? What up, CFed? Welcome.
I definitely didn't see like the step I wanted to see. Maybe in the reflections of the helmet, and then like the textures, like in 4K. If you watch the 4K version on YouTube, this is the 1080p version, by the way. You can see like the fuzz on the gloves and stuff, but here, nah, the detail is betrayed by the quality of the video, which was my complaint about it. That's why.
Well, for poor retired people like myself, who don't have 4K TVs, 1080p is wonderful.
I mean, I don't have a 4K TV either, but I can at least turn on the quality on my computer and get an or downscaled version or super scaled version of it on my 1080p monitor.
That is so funny. Yo, Ratchet and Clank. So Dev Monty was talking about it. And he was like, they're making a new Ratchet and Clank. And I'm like, bro, you had me at new. You know what I mean? I like Ratchet and Clank.
I've never played a Ratchet and Clank version, or a game, but I definitely want to focus on this because this is one of the few games in the show that had what looked like actual gameplay, and it highlighted like the power of the PlayStation 5 in terms of like the ability to warp between different worlds instantaneously. That's all the solid state drive right there. And the seamlessness is amazing. Like right here, just going between.
Yeah, this is all
areas.
gameplay. Yeah, this is very impressive. Very impressive. I have a connection with the Ratchet and Clank franchise. So I know I'm pretty sure I shared this story on stream before, where like you know, sometimes I'd be called back into work, or I would go to work to hide, and then I would play some Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, it's good times. So I'm actually looking forward to this. So I'm excited about the Spider-Man Miles Morales game.
I mean, yeah, I'll play it.
And I'm excited about this Ratchet and Clank. This looks very good.
I don't know if I'll play Ratchet and Clank just because I haven't played many of the other games, but I mean, it's not like I hate on it. I just, oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know, there's no reason to be excited about it. I'm
Yeah.
not excited for Gran Turismo.
Exactly.
I'm not hating. I'm just not a fan. It's too real for me. I don't want to worry about gear ratios and all that shit. You know what I mean? I'm playing video games to escape the world, man. I want to be drifting on the side of a mountain, jump off, do a 360, land, and the car not blow up. You know what I'm saying? I'm that level.
The entire studio is so excited to be able to share with
So
you
this
a
guy's
first
supposed to be
ever look
CGI
at
as well?
Ratchet and Clank Rift
I mean, if you want to believe it,
Brand new, full-length,
I think it was just
interdimensional adventure
the
built
Japanese
from the
guy
ground up for the
who looked like
PlayStation 5. We're doing things we've never been
the
able to do
worst,
before,
like not real person.
use-dimensional riffs
Everybody
to
else
be
is
able
just
to
kind of
leap
just
from planet to
bad
planet
lighting.
nearly instantly.
Maybe.
Or
I think
ray trace
the
reflections
lighting is on
planet.
purpose. Like they're trying to go for
All
this
of our
like
alien worlds are filled with
futuristic,
density and life previously
controlling
Plus,
perspective
Ratchet's all-new
type
arsenal is more exciting than ever,
look.
thanks to the DualSense controller's enhanced
I think that's what it is. Highly interactive.
Blue Cheese is gonna say everybody looks fake.
And we can't wait to share more with you in the future. But for now, here's another look.
Oh yeah. Dave's talking about the collectors. They have a collectors of all the Ratchet and Clank that you can get for $10 right now to play.
I might look for that then.
It's
I know-
fun.
I know Target has like a buy two get one free sale thing. I might buy some more games. Then again, that's more games I might not have time to play. So we'll see. But here's some actual gameplay.
Yeah, I like it. I think it looks really good. I'm excited for it. Ratchet and Clank. The Dark Souls. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
The Dark Souls of action adventure games. Wait, that's Dark
what,
Souls.
That's what I call everything that's difficult sometimes. It's the Dark Souls version of.
All right, so what do we got next? Oops, I didn't mean to click there.
So the next one is Project Athia. Athia. They never said the name, so I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. But I'm pretty sure it's Athia. This looked interesting to me as well. it piqued my attention.
Yeah, Athia should be correct. I don't even remember seeing this. I had to work during the thing, so I was kind of going back and forth between my monitors. So some stuff I don't even remember.
Oh no, I think not Deb Money. Hariel has sent out a link to YouTube, so I watched it after the fact. That's how I was able to skip Gran Turismo.
Well, like I said, it is better to watch it on YouTube, each individual thing, because you get it in 4K. Just saying. Don't waste your time watching the whole show when you could just watch it in the best quality possible.
Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. So I'm excited about that. And you know what? I'm a sucker for a game with a strong, well-written female protagonist. Love it. Love it.
There were a couple.
But then I could shorten that and say I love games with a well-written protagonist. Male or female, I don't care. I will assume the role. I didn't know too much about this one. This one was, I think this was the one about the cat, right?
Yes.
Play as a cat during cat things. I don't know.
I need
This
more
didn't seem interesting to
information.
me.
I can't say if I'm interested in this game just based off this. Of course, there are people who's like, cat, I'm in. Kitty cat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't have any feelings any which way. I wasn't like, oh man, I'm excited to purchase this. I'm not even excited to check it out because they give you just enough information for you to not know what the hell's going on.
Exactly. But speaking of like just games I was interested in, like that caught my attention, and we'll get to them. But there are all the stuff that weren't like major AAA, not AAA, but like major games, like big name stuff. I like the small stuff. Like Goodbye Volcano High. That was interesting to me.
Really?
Yeah. And Little Devil Inside. Those are the games that are like.
Let's go back to Volcano High.
We'll get to it. We're gonna get to it.
Gross.
Gross? What do you mean gross?
Man, all right, guys. Let's stop talking about it. When we get to the trailer, you'll see. So that was Stray, coming out in 21-21.
Yeah,
Angel 2021.
Angel conveniently left that off the rundown, so
It
we couldn't remember what it was called.
It was so bad, I forgot about it. And I wrote this as I was watching it. That's how terrible it was. I had just watched it and I forgot about it. So they were talking about the speed, right? So that's something that I felt was missing from all of this, because they're not talking about the performance speeds of the hard drive or graphics or anything else. They're just throwing out buzzwords like haptic feedback. Like, what the hell does that mean? How does that impact gaming, and how is that different from what we have right now?
Man, they explained that in the other thing, the presentation they had, but it was too much for everybody's tiny brains. They explained everything.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. This was a perfect opportunity where they could be like, this is how it is, and they put it in layman's terms. Like, this is why this is important, but because outside of, for those people who are paying close attention, they'll see the differences between a PS4 and a PS5, but if the general public is watching this stuff and they don't really know the difference, I don't know if there's anyone who's going to be motivated to be like, yo, I need this PS5 based off of the presentation that they gave,
Yeah, that's true as well. It's a bunch of trailers. It was just like the Xbox thing, except they actually showed some gameplay, like running gameplay. But other than that, is the exact same thing. It's just like, we're just going to throw videos at you, and this is supposed to sell you on a console.
This, I didn't know what to make too much about it. I was like, okay. But I started noticing a trend that there's more and more games coming out with this loop idea.
I was about to say that, and then you mentioned the female protagonist thing. Those are like the two big themes of all these games in this particular show. Not that that's a bad thing, female protagonist wise, but like the fact that everything has like looping, restarting, and all that. Because there's like 3 games in this one show, I think. At least 2.
Yeah, they have the looping, exactly. And maybe somebody is trying to tell us about the simulation that we're living in. Cue X-Files themes.
Oh, yeah. God damn it.
I don't know. That's terrible. That was a terrible rendition. Terrible.
Don't worry, I got
But
you.
yes.
I'm ready this time. I was ready this
ready?
time. I was like, we're gonna talk about some conspiracy theories. I'm gonna be ready.
But I'm interested in this, but I need to see more, like what is it about, and more of the gameplay.
Yeah.
So like the idea looks good, but I don't know what's happening right now. So is this like a horror action title, maybe?
I would
feel
assume
that's what
so.
I'm trying to come across with.
That's what I need. I would need more like story with gameplay. Kind of like, I remember when Death Stranding was like all those years of like teasers for Death Stranding, and I didn't care any iota about what Death Stranding was until like that final trailer when they had a good mix of both to get me interested, and then I was like, okay, I want to get this game and play it. I don't like the name for this though, Returnal.
Yeah.
But it's a good name, like in a sense of combining two words. But to me, I just didn't like it. I don't know.
Yeah. It sounded like they were at the end of, like, they had to come up with something, and some dude named Bobby walked in with a donut and coffee and was like, he was trying to pretend he wasn't late, and he just threw out a word, Returnal. And we're like, damn, that's a good idea.
I thought about it, guys. I put work into it.
That's it.
All right. Well, see, I didn't really care for Sackboy Adventures, so you want to skip the vote to skip?
I'm not a fan of Sackboy, but they have a new one coming out. There you go, guys.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like it's a whole new game with that character. Because before it was Little Big Planet, and that was like their creative game. Now they have Dreams as their creative game.
Oh, that's right.
And then they're like, okay, now we need something to do with the Sackboy because he's cute and everybody likes him. And then and they make this game.
That's right. Man, I forgot that that's what it was called. I legitimately thought it was always called Sackboy. This looks so adorable.
Hariel was saying that Returnal reminds him of Lost Planet. I can see some of the similarities in that. It's a lot darker though, and less snow.
What's up, JD? Welcome.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the game looks good, right? That's something that's consistent across every game that they showed. They all look good, except for Volcano High.
Oh
but every other
God.
game looks good.
This game confused me.
Which one's this?
I don't even remember what it's called.
Yeah, Destruction All-Stars.
Yeah, that.
I thought it was what's the soccer card game that's out?
Oh, and of course you put me on the spot. And I can't remember the damn game. Even
Damn,
though we talk
Blue
about
Cheese
it
is
every
really good
meeting.
at it.
Rocket League. We talk about it
Rocket
every
League.
single meeting at work, and I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, Rocket League. No, I thought this was a game I saw at E3 last year, just from the intro, because it looked like stylistically the same game, but it was like a game where you would like, it was a roller derby game with like special effects and crap, but and it ended up being a destruction derby thing, but like you have people running around on their feet everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. I don't
know
understand.
It wasn't very clear. It was straight chaos. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand. So I think I gave it about 20 seconds, and then I kind of tuned out.
So this is the most you've seen of this.
Like I don't know what it's trying to tell me. I don't know what it's trying to show me. Destruction Dirt, Rocket League. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. And then by the end of the trailer, I was just as confused as I was in the beginning. Actually, I was more confused than I was at the beginning of the trailer.
That is true. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what this game's gonna be. I'm gonna have to see actual gameplay and what it looks like.
Yeah, this is something you're gonna have to actually play to
Yeah,
appreciate.
that too. There better be a demo. Of course, that's asking.
Nah,
a lot.
man, everybody's going away from demos, man. They don't want you to play their game anymore. They want you to
It's a
just
story
buy
full
it.
of adventure and charm.
Look at how
Has
he's
themes
staring
of
at his
personal
buddy,
growth
his
and
brother
redemption.
too. I thought that was kind of
So
odd
please enjoy.
in the very beginning. Yeah, I don't know why. Like he was intense. Like you better not say what you want to say.
This
Stick
game
to the script.
This game looked cute, but again, I got to see more of it. I gotta get it.
This
I gotta get
one-
some hands-on with it.
Let me see. This one should be Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yes.
I know you are kind.
Watching the
I mean,
4K trailer, it didn't look as good as I thought it was gonna look,
Says the
but it still looked. And this is mostly to like the style of animation and stuff, or the style of the textures and stuff. But I still think it's cute. I'm
Looks
slightly
cute.
interested.
It's cute.
Is that?
By the belief that you can.
I know he's all about that 4K blue cheese. I don't know what's going on
It's-
with him right now.
That's how you're supposed to watch it.
4K.
That's
you don't
how
need 4K.
they're supposed to be
Just want
selling you.
4K.
Look, this is a 4K console. They're supposed to be selling you on a 4K experience.
Yeah.
They're supposed to make you want to buy it and buy a new TV. This is the selling point for 4K, and they're blowing it.
Nah, we don't need 4K for great games, you know? I just want interesting, compelling stories. That's what I want. I don't want wokeness. I don't care about graphical fidelity that adds nothing to the story or the gameplay or any of that. I want good stories.
You're talking
I
about
can get
graphical
lost.
fidelity, and then you're hating on the next game. I don't have 4K, but I'm just saying it's supposed to like bite at you to want to upgrade to get the best
I mean,
experience.
It looks good. You know, to be fair, it does look good, but I don't know. I would have to see more of it. It wasn't. At the end of this trailer, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to try this and see what's going on here. It was okay. It looked okay. I don't know. It looks like she beats stuff with the staff and then she uses these animals.
She beats stuff with a stick, and then she gets little creatures.
I know.
It reminded me
well-
of like, oh, well, let me pause it before we move on.
Yeah, because you got to be careful in this wokeness too, because somebody's gonna look at that and be like, "Yo, why is she using a stick? Female empowerment. You know, why these things she commanding? Why they black?
Why is
Everybody's
she
gonna
holding
lose
a
their
phallic
mind.
symbol?
Phallic symbol, female."
What do you mean I'm a Microsoft Wii? What are you talking about?
Jesus
I
Christ,
play
man.
everything. I'm an equal opportunity gamer. I'm just saying, I think the same thing. I was about to mention that I think Microsoft has to do the same exact thing that I'm saying. They need to sell this console when they present it in next month on as
Yeah, they need to.
as a upgraded experience, because nobody's going to buy it when you can play everything on the Xbox One or on PC. They
Facts.
need to show off 4K, and they need to show it off in a way that makes you compelled to buy the system, or they're not going to be selling anything next
That's correct.
holiday season or this holiday season.
And on top of that, PlayStation has a lot of dope ass exclusives that Microsoft doesn't have access to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they have to show off something more in order to make it a compelling purchase. I haven't seen anything come up in the Microsoft realm that makes me say, hey, I need to get myself a new mini fridge, aka Xbox Series X, I think is what it's called now.
Speaking of which, there's a cute little, oop, that is my Discord, and that is not supposed to be over there. There's a cute little picture of Xbox One X, or excuse me, Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, and what they could potentially look like on your in your entertainment system or on your desk. Let me find it.
Looking like a mini fridge with a router. That's what it looks like.
No, oh God, of course.
Oh yeah, this is actually pretty adorable. I thought that was cute. Yeah, this is cute. That's legit. That's actually a good picture.
All right, why is that so
That's a really good
zoomed
picture.
in? Okay, let me get back
That's
to.
a good picture.
Where is it? Not that. There you go.
Hariel says they have Madden on Xbox.
They have
Yeah, Madden alone is not going to sell.
right now they have Halo, and that's it.
That's wow.
That's all they have. That's
And
their,
it's not even the good Halo either. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? It's not like what Halo used to be Halo. Now it's 343 Halo now.
Yeah, that's so it's even less compelling.
What's going on, Trolley Bear Music? Welcome.
But what was I gonna say? So people were saying this kind of reminded them with those little creatures like Pikmin mixed with, and I forgot what the other game. Oh crap! And just the stylized version of it. I think it reminds me a little bit of Ori, and with the music, I think they're trying to touch on that like Ori, those Ori fans, get them interested.
I could see that.
I think Ken Watanabe was the voiceover. I think. I don't know for sure, but I'll have to check into that.
Kenna, bridge of spirits. It's all right. It looked okay. It would look cute. It looked cute. Like a kid's game. I'm wonderful, just chilling, vibing out. Well, you're in the right place to continue that chillness.
Is
At
he
least
though?
when Eric speaks, he's pretty chill.
Okay. I was
Oh
about
my
to say.
God, this looks so shitty.
What do you mean? How can you hate
You ever
on?
feel like you're just waiting for a sign?
It's not supposed to be. I think it looks great.
To do that thing.
Where's my 4K, Eric?
You were just hating on stuff that had to have story versus graphic fidelity, and this is exactly what you're talking about. And you're hating on it.
Nah, it looks like point and click type game.
Something's
It was
holding
okay.
me back.
I think it's gonna be interesting. I
Maybe
might
it's
play
just
it.
nerves.
And you know, I'm going to play it just
Maybe it's
to
the
prove a
fear
point to
that
you. But the story kind of
I'll
touched
never be as good as what I
touched me.
imagined.
I'm like, I'm interested. I might
I'm
play this.
still just standing on the edge.
It reminded me a lot of
But if
myself.
we've got nothing else to lose,
Kind of. You can reach a lot of people
Might
with
as well
this.
jump.
We'll see what they got.
I think it has like a nice anime flair to it, right? Looking like an anime show that you're going to be able to interact with and control, but it came across to me like some teen angst, want to be a part of a band, MTV at 11 p.m. back in 1992 type show. I don't know, man.
Did you ever play Life is Strange?
No. That didn't look interesting.
I mean, you kind of described that, but even with the teenage angst and stuff, it's still a good game up until the ending. It kind of went off the rails at the end, but it was it was worth playing. I want to play Life is Strange 2, but I haven't got around to it.
Yeah, I think Goodbye Volcano High is probably the most uninteresting thing I saw out of this whole
Wow. Hater. Hating. I think it was
thing.
one of
That
the,
is,
I
that is
think it was
including a show that has NPA 2K whatever in it.
NBA 2K21, I think. What was I going to say? You're a hater, and I think it was one of the most interesting games of the show. So,
Oh yeah?
suck on that. But
Nah, son.
of course, we have a console launch, which means we got to have an Oddworld game. I've never. I mean, other than like maybe a demo of Abe's Odyssey, I've never played an actual like Oddworld game. But they're still doing it. Props to Lorne Lanning, still telling his story. What has it been, like 25 years?
I think so too. JD's like, but the new Halo is not good. I'm hoping they go back to what made it great.
I doubt it. And even if they do, at launch it's going to be broken, like every other 343 release. I have no expectations. So they have all the world to work with, and they'll still find a way to get under that bar.
Yeah, I'm curious about this game though, because I was like, I don't think I've ever played an Oddworld game either. So it has my attention, because I'm curious, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how many Oddworld games there are. I don't know where
Is
they
there
are
anyone out
in the story.
in any of the chats that have played an Oddworld game that might be able to speak on that? 'Cause I don't know for sure. Yeah, it looked okay. It looked good. I could say that it looks good, but I don't know much about that. I looked at this guy and I was like, yo, he looks like an MMA fighter. Just his look.
All right, so this is
What are we
Ghostwire
up to now?
Tokyo.
Ghostwire. Yeah, I thought this was cute. This was interesting.
Cute. We're looking for righteous and kick ass. I don't know. It didn't grab my attention. Of course, again, I was in the process of working at the time of watching this, so I was a little distracted. But
Well, I was sitting there watching, and it did not really grab my attention too much. But what was interesting though is because I've been to Tokyo, so seeing Tokyo in game was I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool.
yeah, that might
then
be
look at-
interesting. Kind of like
The guy was saying that
in the way
that,
GTA is. But to continue, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's basically what I was trying to get to. Is that he was talking about he wanted to make it as if you were walking around Tokyo and doing this stuff in Tokyo, and I thought that was an interesting idea. But the way that this looks, I wasn't sure if this is a VR game.
I don't know if they would have anything planned for VR at this point, because the current VR headset for PlayStation isn't really gonna. It'd probably hurt more than it would do benefit to these games that are coming out, just because of the resolution of the system, or the thing. the VR
Yeah.
system.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Maybe it's backwards compatible, or probably is. But you can use it on the PlayStation 5 for some games. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know, man. I would have to see more of this game, but right now it looks interesting, but not compelling. It looked like the type of game that you might try out because a buddy of yours was like, "Hey, man, just give this a try," you know. But
Exactly,
I was
blue
like,
cheese. Only
right.
at the VR headsets in 4K. All right, what's next?
What are we up to now? Jet.
I don't
the
even.
Far Shore.
I don't even remember this game, honestly. This was in the trailer, or in the trailers.
Yeah, because I was paying attention to what it was called.
Oh yeah, I got no information from this. I was so confused.
And I think that was it.
I thought this was going to be the Horizon announcement because of the design of these things. I don't even know what these things are.
Nah, player, you saved the best for last. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I was hoping for, something like huge at the end, something like out of left field. But it's whatever. It's whatevs.
Like Metroid.
On PlayStation, yeah, exactly.
Would have broke the internets.
Half-Life 3, something.
Yeah, I didn't really know what the hell was going on with this one. I guess we're flying around, and I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand, right? Because I feel like a trailer. I've never designed a trailer. Perhaps I shouldn't speak on this, but I feel like a trailer should give someone some information so that when they finish watching the trailer, they'll at least have an idea of what the hell they just watched, right? But then you leave a little mystery, be like, oh man, I can't wait for the next trailer to come out so that I can learn more. After watching this trailer, I was like, if I never saw it, I would have the same understanding. Actually, I'm more confused as a result of watching it than I am if I just never heard about it.
If I just saw the name, Jet
Right?
the
Yeah.
Far Shore, interesting title. But then you see the trailer, I'm like, I have no idea where even to begin. I'm even more confused.
I don't know, right? Because we're flying into space for 100 years or some shit, and then now we're using ground terrain following technology in another scene. I don't know. Oh, wait, there's water. Now the ground terrain following technology doesn't work anymore because we're going to wait. I don't know. I don't know what the hell we just watched.
You
So
know,
it's not on my,
we were talking
I'm
about
not
themes
excited.
as well. Another like common theme is space in a lot of these. I think in this in new games that are coming out for this next generation. And the reason why that stuck out to me and just like exploration stuff, because I was playing that space game. I don't even remember what it was called anymore. What was it called? The Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds.
So it just like stuck out to me because I mean the ability to explore in space is kind of interesting, and then now I'm seeing it everywhere. Like in the PC game show, they showed a game like it. That last game we just saw was similar. This I don't even know. This is not what I expected Godfall to be when I saw the trailer last year or whatever, or the trailers in the past.
I'm interested in this, but I don't want to use the word clunky, but that's probably the only way to describe what's happening on screen. It's not clunky, it's a specific combat style, but as I'm looking at it, it reminded me of, oh my gosh. Lionhead Studio, game on Xbox.
Fable?
Fable, thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it kind of reminded me of Fable, but it looks like medieval.
It reminded me of Too Human, but like.
Oh, there it is. There's another one. It does look like Too Human as well. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about this one because I'm kind of excited about it because it looks interesting. It looks like it would have some fast-paced, dope gameplay, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's going to pull us in. Is that new? I feel like I haven't seen things advertised with the word holiday. Yeah. So they're starting to go with holiday now instead of Christmas because people get offended over things.
It also gives them a chance to like have a flexible release date between like November and December. Hariel said the space game reminds him of No Man's Sky, which, by the way, when are we going to play cross-play No Man's Sky?
Oh, is that a thing?
Yes.
That's what you want to do?
Hey, I'm gonna get it on Game Pass. I'm ready to play. I don't know if you can get it.
Oh man.
Here's another confusing game.
So, Solar Ash, right? Looks really good. It reminds me of
Journey.
Journey.
It reminds
There's
like
also-
stylistically, it reminds me of a game that hasn't come out yet, or maybe
Well,
it
there
did.
was-
The Sayonara something. But what were you saying?
Well, there was a game that came out on PS3. I believe it was called Book of Enoch. That had this. A lot of people haven't played it because it was a very niche title, but. So I like the look of this game. I like the way that it looks. It's very artsy. You know what I mean? But again, I don't know what's going on in this trailer. I have no idea. So it looks fun. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I'll put it that way. It definitely looks beautiful.
It reminds me of that Sayonara Wild Hearts game or something, whatever it was called. It looks like graphically the same. But I don't know. I only saw people playing it at PAX. I've never actually played it because the line was too long. I don't stand in lines.
You don't stand in lines and you don't like things unless they're in 4K. Got it.
I mean,
Very
that is
simple, man.
Look, I want us to move into the future. I'm tired of this 1080p nonsense.
It was always going to end like this.
That's why I purposely went out of my way to watch the Super Bowl in 480 or 4K, but
All
technically it
your
was
hard work,
1080p upscaled, but it's
all your
still
sacrifice,
4K
we
broadcast,
sped
whatever.
up the process.
Anyway, Hitman 3. I didn't even know Hitman 2 came out already. I didn't even know they were done with Hitman 2, so whatever. I mean, it's fun. I liked Hitman 1, or the remake, the redo of Hitman so far. If you haven't played it, I want to see Angel play Hitman. That'd be fun.
And now,
It requires a lot of stealth, right? I don't know, man.
I mean, there's some stealth involved. It's more of like a mental aspect.
I don't know.
You gotta outsmart the game. You gotta.
only death
I don't know. This looked
awaits.
okay. It looked
Yeah,
okay.
it's nothing special. It's Hitman 3,
That was it.
but
It looked okay. There was no excitement. I was very indifferent to it. I was indifferent to the trailer, to be honest with you. This was just cute. It reminded me of, what was it, like Nintendo Wii had the Wiiverse or something. And it had all these games associated with it when it first came out. It's adorable. I feel like this is the same thing.
oh, the Wii and I don't even know what it's called. Let me grab the disc so I can remember what this thing's called. And the Wii Sports thing you were talking about?
Yeah.
Wii Sports.
But there were, or maybe it was on the Wii U, because they had a place where all of your Miis could go and do all of these mini games.
I don't
The
recall.
Miiverse or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, you
That's
could
what
do
that
stuff
reminded me
in Miiverse. I don't think you could play games, but I never actually did that because I don't socialize even in video games.
of.
What's
All
next?
right. This
Oh,
one
this is the other game that interested me. Just because-
Yeah, this actually looks very interesting. Side note, did you know that the developers received a lot of backlash?
Yeah, I was reading about that before today.
That's crazy. I didn't even notice it until I read the article.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
don't
if
even
the scene
remember.
is going to come up.
It should
It's
still
gonna
be
be-
in. I don't think the video's
should-
been edited.
No. It should still be in here where he's running away from the indigenous people. And I don't think this is a developer in America either. So perspective is very different. But this looked beautiful and it looked fun. These right here, these characters. So that quick clip right there offended people crazy. Yeah. So they were like, yo, why are these indigenous people running around with dreadlocks and big lips with a big mask and dark skinned? And damn. So then the developers had to write back and be like, hey, we weren't trying to offend anyone. We're going to go ahead and rework the design because we don't want to make, any people feel offended as though we were trying to make fun of them. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
I don't know. I don't know if it was. I mean, we can go back if you guys missed it, but like it was that quick. It was, unless you were like looking for it, you would have never noticed it. If you were looking, I guess, to be offended, kind of.
That's
I mean,
what
I
it
can
feels
understand.
like these days,
I can
man.
understand, but I don't know.
It's like with the whole Gone with the Wind thing too, man. Public outcry to get Gone with the Wind removed.
I mean, that movie's just trash anyway, but I would be happy if it was removed from existence.
Yeah, but what's interesting though is that is the first Black Academy Award winner. First female Black. Is it Oscars or Academy Award? I'm gonna look.
They're the
right
same.
Now.
They just okay.
Right here.
So they have they do have dreadlocks and they have dark skin and then mask with giant lips.
And then when he turns to the boom, right there. So that's the look of the indigenous people that generated all of this backlash for the company, and now they have to redesign those character models.
I mean, isn't that that's based in reality? I mean,
I'm offended. Cancel. Cancel Common Fury.
I don't. I mean,
What do you mean?
I don't know. They're
You mean having dreadlocks?
no, just like
Being dark
African
in
tribes that in the past ran around with masks.
Having masks that had accentuated features that you could find in any museum?
Yeah.
Are you talking about these things? I'm not sure, man. I'm offended that you even brought it up.
I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna move on.
Yeah. Anyways, but I'm looking forward to this game. It looks adorable. Like it has some cheeky humor going on in here. It looks fun, and the combat looked brutal. Like the brutal combat came out of nowhere. so of course that made me interested.
Still don't really have
like
an
this trailer.
understanding of what like is going on, but it did interest me. So it did better than any other trailer on this show.
I understand more of what's going on in this than I do in that Demolition or Destruction All Stars, whatever it's called, which is still better than what's it called, Rift Flight Jet. That's what it's called.
Rift
Jet.
Flight.
Yo, as soon as he came on screen, I skipped it because I was like, he's gonna talk about NBA 2K, whatever.
In the notes, Angel wrote NBA 2K something, and I put a lol next to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. People don't sweat like this, but they're still trying to make it look cool.
I mean, it looks good. Whatever.
They're trying to make sweating look cool. No, that one was definitely like filmed at his house. Because the camera had less quality than anybody else's camera.
I'm offended. Why is it the one brother who gets a close-up, they're using the worst camera on? Cancel.
Sweat doesn't work like that.
It looks good. You know who I feel bad for though? I actually feel bad for the people who play the NBA games, because every year they have to get the new title if they're going to try and enjoy the new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel bad.
That's the kind of game that should have a season pass, because it would work in that way. But then again, people wouldn't be the companies wouldn't be making as much money. They can't.
Yeah.
When they could sell the season pass for $20, they'd rather make $60 on a whole new game.
Yeah, I don't like what they do there. I don't like that. I feel bad for those guys, for the Maddens, the FIFAs, NBAs, Jams, or 2K. I feel
Here's the
bad
other
for those
game
guys.
that I enjoyed. I'm interested in.
Oh, Bug Snacks?
Yes.
You and I have very different tastes in games.
No, it's just because you've seen everything else. This has a quality developer, the developer that made Octodad, which is a fantastic game. I highly recommend you play that, by the way. So they have my attention. I want to see what they do now. Of course, the trailer starts off cheesy, but that's kind of like their comedy style, especially in Octodad.
Shtick.
Yes, their comedy stylings.
Yeah, after that, I was like, I'm not getting this. And then I saw that, I was like, oh, from the creators of Octodad? All right, I'll finish the trailer. And then at the end of the trailer, I was like, yeah, no, I made a correct assessment. I'm not gonna get this.
Phoenix on my side. mentioned if people would stop buying the NBA games, they would stop coming out with new ones every year. But that's not even just like sports fans. That's just general gamers, in that the addiction is real. They'll keep buying the same crap over and over again with minimal changes. Mm-hmm. And as long as that keeps happening, nothing's going to change.
Yeah. That's true.
Liz! I was trying to
Still feel bad.
my weenie hands, but
I still feel bad for those guys, man.
town's on fire. Oh,
Wait, what, guys?
Yo, you got to get this new game for the new roster. Anyway, Bug Snacks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It look cute.
I'll let you know. Cute. I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it.
What is this? We got an ice cream worm over there. What is this? What is this? Hamburger villain? What is this? I'm good.
All right. What are we going to?
What's next? Oh, Demon Souls. All right.
It looks like an acid trip. I mean, so that's what makes it great.
You know, obviously I'm excited about Demon Souls getting the remaster. Because I'm a fan of the whole series, right? I'm a fan. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know the storyline, but I enjoy the gameplay. So, I mean, this should be interesting. And I was doing some research on it before the show today, and they're doing a complete rebuild from the ground up of this game. So it's not simply taking it and optimizing it for the next console. Like, they're legitimately building a new game, and it's being done by the company that has been doing a bunch of the remasters of old games. So the company that did the remaster for Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Well, they only made the remaster for Shadow of the Colossus, but yeah, I was gonna mention that, and the same treatment is like they just took the game and rebuilding it from the ground up, and that's what they're doing here.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm like, all right, I might check it out then.
Did you just make me say Ico? It's pronounced Eco.
Eco, Ico, potato. Same. It rains down in Africa. Wakanda forever.
All right, well, I guess we're going straight into a trailer, so I don't need to skip.
This is
maybe
Deathloop,
okay,
which I thought was interesting as well. So this is kind of causing people to have a perfect run-through of a title, which I think is kind of interesting.
No, I'm sure there's save points or places you can stop and then like return back to that spot. Because it's modern gaming. People don't want to have any complexity or try hard or have difficulty in their games. So, you know, of course they're going to have, I'm sure they're going to have some sort of save point. But then I'm sure they'll have a mode where it's like hardcore. But still, this doesn't interest me at all. Is the point I'm trying to make. No.
What? I'm interested in it. Yo, so my man Eric is over here in a 4K strawberry forearm, but he's not interested in a interesting shooter. I don't know. We're just different people.
I mean, shooters don't surprise me anymore. I've played them all. I've seen everything. You just gotta bring it to the table with good quality gunplay and gameplay. But
good morning, Black Reef.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. It's like Looper, right? You got to start over. It's like, oh damn, I messed up. You got to go back through, start over, get these perfect runs.
What did Arcane, or is that?
This place is paradise.
Why did they change their name? Or is it just now multiple Arcane studios? I don't know. Well, they did okay with Prey. I liked what I played with Prey. Death of the Outsider. Wasn't a fan, especially since I tested the game, and it didn't put me in the goddamn credits. But let's be on the besides the point.
Somebody is angry.
So I'm on the negative side right now of anything by the studio, but I'll wait for more gameplay. Maybe it'll interest me. But I've never been interested in the Dishonored games, and so yeah, we'll see.
This looks interesting to me, so I'll be playing it. Because it looks like you have to do perfect runs.
What I'd be interested in is if like this is a multiplayer game in the vein of like, crap, what was that game we played?
I will.
with the co-op.
That we played?
Yeah. What was it called?
Are you talking about like the one where we were in prison?
Yes, that one.
Yeah. Prison multiplayer game. There you go.
What was it called? A Way Out. A Way Out. If it's in the vein of A Way Out, where like you and a buddy will like play two different stories, and in the process you have to kill each other, I would be interested in that. I think
No,
that's
that's definitely not what this is. Well, that's what it comes across as. That's not what it's about.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Is that would have interested me? This doesn't interest me.
That's okay. Well, while I'm playing this, you'll be playing that shitty volcano,
Yeah.
teen angst, emotional MTV 720p quality game. It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be playing it in 4K. So suck it.
Haters.
All right. Well,
And then they.
this one came out of left field, just because of like the content of the trailer versus what it became.
Yeah, I don't understand, man. Watching this trailer that's coming up next, I had no idea that it was a Resident Evil game until they said it was a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend who's like a hardcore Resident Evil fan. Well, like the old games. So like the first 4 games, he loves, and then 5. It's been downhill since then. For him, because of co-op and it's just like a lean towards more action. And then with 7, I forgot what he didn't like about 7. I think it was just the character. But
Yeah, because I was like, a lot of people like 7. Those who didn't like, 5 and 6.
I didn't go into details on 7. But yeah, he was not very excited when he saw the werewolf. He's like, "What the fuck are werewolves doing in Resident Evil?"
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, man. I don't understand.
Look at the trailer of 7. What do you mean, Hariel?
I don't know. Hariel likes to talk in code. We got to figure it out. We got to figure out what he said, what he means. Dad says, "Hey, tell him I said what up, JD." Like, "What's up, Pop?"
They're coming. Who is?
Yeah, when I saw the werewolves, I was like, I don't know, man. And then he got pulled down, so then I was like, oh, did he die? Is this like another life loop game? Apparently not. And then I was like, I was thinking more Castlevania. Or more like Order 1866.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the game I thought
or
this was.
1886.
1886, and then like is like Village. I'm like, okay, Village, and then like highlighted the V and the first parts of the L or the L's, no, the I's. Excuse me. Well, whatever it did.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, 5, 8, what? And then it was like Resident Evil, what? And then it showed Chris, or not Chris. What the fuck is his name?
Right. Here's a wolf. No, I think it is Chris. Because he's like, "I'm sorry, Chris," or he says something to Chris. He's talking to Chris.
It was, oh no, it was the I and the L's. I forgot it was 8. But yeah.
Chris?
Oh, okay, yeah, it was Chris. I was right all along. And then Chris is fat now. The memes are great about that. He's all chubby. I don't know what's going on. Of course, I haven't played a Resident Evil game since 5, really. So
They're trying to do something new. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I had no idea. No idea.
all right, what's
Because at the end of that, I was like, "This is a Resident Evil game." Oh, no, it's like there's Chris. Chris is back. All right. Cool.
oh, here's that other space game I was talking about. See,
Yeah. Like there's a space simulation seems to be a thing. Questioning the reality. What is reality? This game perfectly does that, right? Like what's real, what's not real. Just in the opening cinematics here.
this is a Capcom game too, right? Or
I don't know, actually. See, like this right now, I don't know what the hell he did here. Did he
Space
find a
Warframe.
moment in time and he brought it to his time? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be the Capcom engine because it looks like a Resident Evil character there.
Look at that. I don't know.
I think I looked
Digital
away
cat. I don't know.
from the trailer for 8, and then I looked back and I'm like, what happened to Resident Evil? Why we got a guy in a spacesuit? I was so confused because this looks
Yeah,
like the engine.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing right here. So I don't know. Like, did he make the girl with what he shot out, and then she has her own cat, and now I don't know. Reality's starting to splinter apart. Yeah, there's a satellite here, which I guess disrupts the fabric of reality. So he has to save the little girl because he made her, I guess.
You're like those, I don't know if you've ever seen the videos on YouTube, but like sometimes people, or more like kids, will like record their dads watching stuff. Those are your reactions right now.
That's me? Like, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Did he make that girl? Why are they flying in the air right now?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. And now they land on the moon. You know?
Could it be a woman in a spacesuit? I mean, with the way all these trailers have gone, it probably is a woman. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know.
And they let the cat die. The cat was a simulation, so it's not a big deal.
I don't know. Maybe he ran out of like reality juice, and the cat could only come in partially, because the girl, she appeared out of nowhere. But apparently, he was using something that messed up the ozone layer, which is why the satellite crashed. And then he saved him with a wicker basket, which propelled them to the moon. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that game. Confusing. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the crowning achievement, the jewel of PS5.
Because when I first watched this, I didn't notice this, but now that I've seen it in 4K, I know where to pause it. And with all the pixelation. But I just want to point out the detail under the water. You can see like the greens and stuff. I thought that looked great. Just wanted to point that out. But back to the trailer.
That is pretty cool. You can tell this is not after 2020, because it would be filled with medical masks and rubber gloves. Hashtag humanity. No, but I did think this looked really good. And I was a little curious though, because it seems to be a lot brighter than the previous game. So more optimism is what it seemed like. The colors seem to be more optimistic. If that's a thing.
I mean, maybe that's what they're going for, just based off like the story part of the trailer. How like things are dying, so they want to like kind of put that, juxtapose it to what's going on in the game, trying to save the light or the brightness of the world. I don't know.
Yeah. That's my girl right there.
Well, if I streamed in 4K, you probably couldn't watch it. Actually, I could only do one stream in 4K at a time. I think. I'm not even sure on that. I'd have to look into that.
As soon as I saw it, I thought of the never-ending story.
You know, I think that came to mind too, just because I watched this so recently.
There's nothing I wouldn't do to save this world.
But
and then this, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I saw this, I immediately got overwhelmed, because I'm like, shit. Now there I am gonna be exploring all the waterways on top of. This is a 200-hour game. I ain't got time for no 200-hour game.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going for any sort of completion when I do finally play Horizon Zero Dawn, just because of you.
I got the platinum, baby. 120 hours.
I just want to experience the game.
No barrier I won't cross.
So good. It was such a good game. One of the best games I've ever played.
This mission is mine.
I was expecting more from quality in this when I saw it in 4K too, honestly.
If I fail.
But it still looks great. It still looks great. I just thought I'd see more detail.
I think you see Zavala here. Jerk.
Is it the same voice actor, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's the same voice actor. It's the actual actor. He voices this character and Zavala. And it actually looks like the actor in this game.
It kind
So
of
that's
looks like
where-
Zavala, just that his skin is white or pale.
Pale, yeah. Oh my God, they're gonna cancel Destiny. They're gonna cancel.
They they
they
white
try-
faced a black guy.
Yeah, exactly. Why they try to whitewash Zavala? He's a black man.
Whatever
Raw. Shut up. But yeah, that's why I was saying that Zavala was this guy in this game, and then after the fall of this civilization, gave rise to Destiny. Hundreds of years later, you know.
That would be
On behalf
little-
of the entire team,
much-
a little bit of a
we're
reach.
happy to share the
I have a
first look
crush on
at the
Angie
rise of
Smets.
Forbidden West.
I don't care what anybody says.
This is literally the second time you've ever seen her.
I have a crush on her.
You know who I always had a
Beautiful.
crush on? Oh, what was her name? From
Get ready to
Ubisoft.
explore
What was
distant
her name?
lands ravaged
Was it
by
Jade
massive
Raymond?
storms.
And take on new,
look her up
powerful
now.
machines as you return.
To the majestic world of Horizon.
Yeah,
Stay
I saw
tuned
her
for
and I
much
paused the
more.
video. I
We
was like,
can't wait for you
God.
to get your
Yeah,
hands on
she's
it.
she's at Ubisoft. Jade Raymond. Here, we're gonna take a break just to just talk about Jade Raymond.
all the female viewers are like, "Oh my God, these guys, really?" Shut up. We'll put up Jason Momoa here in a minute.
Yeah,
Calm
well,
down.
for you ladies, just put somebody in the chat. We'll pull them up. Somebody, an attractive person in the gaming industry. Like every time she came out for any Ubisoft like presentation, I'm like, God damn, Jade Raymond, I love you. I think I guess she works at Google now. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Gosh,
Anyway.
that's funny. That is funny.
Oh, that's my Facebook. I saw one notification. I'm like, let me see what's going on here. Oh.
That's funny.
Oh, that's a lot of work. I'm not gonna rewind. I might do it for the one Gran Turismo guy, but as for now, all these people look real.
I think there's a lot to look forward
This
to.
was kind of cute when they had the whole, like, all the developers talking at the end, and then to show that all of these different personalities together are what creates the PlayStation world that we're going to be finding ourselves in through their games, you know, to try and humanize what they're doing, which I thought was a nice touch, right?
Man,
Like,
Xbox
hey,
does that all the time, and everybody hates on it. But when PlayStation does it, it's okay.
These are real people creating the games that you love and think are shit. You know? They're real people doing what they can to express their creative vision. And here with PlayStation 5, you too will have the freedom to make your own reality.
Sure.
I thought that was cute.
All right.
And then the little tech demo here with the millions of circles.
I don't think it's really a tech demo. It's just more of like a graphical, something cool to look at.
Yeah.
It's definitely not
Oh,
a tech
that's
demo.
nice.
But
Oh, look at that.
I did appreciate like these interstitials of like these like CG things in the middle to like just give you a break and then to jump into the next game.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too. That was nice. And I thought this looks pretty good too. See, like right here, what I would have done is I would have said, hey, this is made with in-game tech or in-game whatever, just to further highlight like, yo, the PlayStation 5 is going to be capable of some amazing things. And you need to buy this console because it's going to blow your mind. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
what I think
That's
they
what they
should
should have
have
done with the people. They should have said, we rendered these people with a PlayStation 5. Now there's just conspiracy theories.
And then look at this. Bam. Eva.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Really? I like it. I think it's sexy because it's edgy. It's
I think-
modern.
I think without the disc drive, it looks good. It looks okay, but with it, the fat,
Yeah.
like the fat inside, I don't like that. But then again, that's the one I'm going to be buying because I buy physical, so I get stuck with that.
Ooh, I like that it's thick. I like thick.
I don't prefer my consoles to be thick. But then again, the Xbox is going to be pretty thick as well. It's all thickness.
Oh my gosh. Xbox is linebacker.
But
you know what
it's
I'm saying?
smaller. It's smaller than, it's shorter and
That's what
not
they
as
said, yeah.
long, but it's wider. I don't know.
I was hoping that they would. Okay, so yeah, the white with the black center and then having the blue accent. That's pretty dope. But what I want is an all black console with red running on the inside, and I'm gonna call that bitch Vader. That's what I want. Sexy.
Well, see, that's something would be a selling point of a console. Like you can customize the LEDs on the system. You can turn them whatever color you want.
Yes, that is a selling point. Agreed.
But that's too easy. That's something they can make money off of by making an all-black Darth Vader one, as you just said. When the next stupid Star Wars game comes out, they're gonna make a Darth Vader one. It's gonna be all black and have red highlights. But
sick.
And you're gonna buy it.
But even the one that they have here, right? Like if this is the original color, like the only color you can get, it still looks good. It has this futuristic look to it. You know, it'll look nice next to your computers or whatever, like your little setup.
No, it's too gaudy for me. It's too gaudy. I don't like things that are gaudy. Like I'll abstain from, or too like apparent. Like when you compare the two SKUs of Switch, there's the grays, the gray controllers, and the red and blue one. But the red and blue is just too bright, too apparent, too standoutish. I want it to be simple, reserved. I want to be able to like walk around in public with it if I ever did that, and then not draw attention to myself because I'm playing a game. I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me.
You know what? You just described our personalities. That's what it is. Because you're like, I want it to be reserved. And I'm all like, I want that shit in the center. Like, blam!
It just would, like, I can imagine it right now, right next to me, right here. And it just being white, the tallest thing on my desk. It just takes up, it's just too in my face. I don't like it.
Too much? It's too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the other end. I'm like, yeah, if it's going to be there, right? If it's going to be this big monster, I want it to look good. Like a monument to technology, an expression with fascination and the possibility of futuristic gaming.
What's that guy's name?
Striking console design yet.
I don't know.
It's like Jack Ryan or something.
Only be enjoyed with the full range.
I don't know, but the way he's like his eyes aren't the same size. Like that caught my attention. I don't know. It's stupid stuff that caught my attention. It's the way he talked. I was like, bro, I could be a CEO. Do that.
Yeah, why don't all the like heads of games so boring?
It's been
they just have like a boring way of speaking. They're not that interesting.
Nah, man, it's about analytics and power moves and stuff like that. Let me see.
Honestly, we might get a copyright strike on this, but that's why I usually. Oops, I didn't record it. That's why I usually try to download it before they copyright strike us. Jim Ryan, that was close. Oops, wrong button.
Just some of the seminal moments of the last.
All right, let me find a picture of Jim Ryan so we can compare.
Oh my gosh.
And see if he's CG.
Play music because it's copyrighted, Yeah, Blue Cheese, the whole copyright thing, I'm 100% positive is that there were some lawyers who saw the opportunity to make some money. That's basically it.
It's always been a thing. It's just that nobody came after streamers until just recently.
Yeah. But there were also some streams that were abusing it as well. So there would be people who would make these music lists, and you can go to and watch a stream where somebody is just DJing or just streaming music, and that streamer, if they get subscribers or if they play ads, so they're getting ad revenue plus, whatever else comes in from subscriptions and or donations. So in essence, they're making money off of somebody else's work. It's one negative aspect of it. So they're not really thinking about the streamer who just has it in the background to kind of create some ambiance while they interact with their community. They're coming from the perspective of those who are able to make money off of something and they want a piece of that money. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, I mean,
on the good end,
it's not wait, what? Let me say that again. I wasn't paying attention. I'm not gonna lie.
So how are you gonna argue if you're not even paying attention?
That's why I stopped. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know if I caught everything you said.
Oh my gosh. So the main problem, right? So what we may think of is, the streamer is just playing this copyrighted music in the backgrounds to create ambiance as they engage their audience, right? And it's that streamer is not being paid basically for the music. That's not what's making the money. It's their ability to engage with their audience. That's where the streamer is making money. But what I'm saying is that there are some streams out there and there are some channels where they make money because they are consistently playing music, copyrighted music. So they're basically being like a radio station is what it is. And that was a problem. But it was just an avenue for them to make money. That's all it is. Oh, like showing the difference. Yo, light can make a hell of a difference, though.
Yes. But what were you saying? And you know, it would probably would have benefited to make them look proper. 4K.
This guy. This guy.
But what was I going to say? You were talking about how the music doesn't benefit a streamer, unless but the thing is they use
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like the primary purpose of the streamer making money, the direct avenue isn't the music itself. It is the personality of the streamer, right? When you have a personality-based streamer, where I'm saying where a lot of the problem is that they have streams that you can go to where they have DJs and all they do is just play music. And then there are even some channels out there that have like the lo-fi mix and some other channels like that where they just play music from various artists, but there's no like the artist isn't getting played for or getting paid for their music being played on these like radio stations, so to speak. But the DJ or the owner of that specific station and or channel, whatever we want to call it, they are making money from playing that music. That's on the far end of it. I don't know if I want to say good or bad, but that's the most egregious use of being paid off of somebody else's work.
Yeah, but it's still all the same. By the letter of the law, unfortunately.
By the letter of the law. That's where we're going by.
It's considered the same as,
mm-hmm.
And to some degree, yeah, that part of like that streamer's identity is the music that they use. Like Dr. Disrespect uses that Kumite song from Bloodsport, doesn't he? He don't have the rights to that, but he uses it. Well, he probably does now, but he uses it. He used it on all his streams. But I mean, this is something I've always argued ever since I like actually looked at the laws that involve copyright with school and stuff. Just taking media law and looking into this stuff. It's just absurd. This is one of the reasons why I hate Disney, because they are the ones that screwed all this up for everybody. Because every 20 years they're like, we're going to extend out copyright, and now it's like 99 years plus, like after the lifetime of whoever created something. But then Disney finds a way to make themselves a living entity. So then Disney never dies. So then they never lose copyright to the crap.
I mean, that's true. And that's also why they do a lot of when it remakes, re-releases, and live versions that renews licenses and everything else. But it just comes down to money. That's all it comes down to, is that there were a bunch of lawyers who are like, yo, we can make money off of this. Especially now that Twitch is blown up and it's more mainstream, and the pandemic has made it even more apparent. So you had a bunch of people who were sitting home who didn't have much to do, and then during that time, growth for streaming companies, specifically Facebook, YouTube Gaming, and Twitch, all grew. I think Facebook Gaming had the most exponential growth. But the point that I'm making is that streaming now, having people playing video games or just chatting or whatever they're doing, and having music in the background, became more mainstream, and then it was another avenue for people to get money. Now it's really what it comes down to. It's always money. It always comes down to money.
As Jefferson Rawl says, and what I was about to say, capitalism, baby.
It is, man. Yeah, everything comes down to money, is what it is. It always comes down to money, which is why we have so many problems. And then you have people who try to create systems, and then you have the people who try to break the systems, and then that makes problems for the people who don't mind living within the system. And then it just makes it all these laws and everything do, all it really does is make things difficult for the law-abiding citizen, right? Because the outlaw doesn't care anyway. They really don't care. And the people who are making the laws or trying to bend the laws are doing it for their benefit. No one makes a law that goes against their own interests. So it's just the people in the middle who are trying to just live life and be good people. They're the ones who get screwed. That's what's sad. That's what's sad about all of this stuff. Anyway, there's another tangent.
I don't know.
So,
I mean, actually, I was going to put that on our notes, and I forgot to put it in there. So it's a good thing we brought it up somehow.
yeah, copyright. It changed. It changed the way that I do my stream too. So now, as a result of it, I mean, I'm a small streamer, but even small streamers get tagged because it's just money. They don't care who you are or what you're doing. It's money. So now the whole live requests and play music and have fun, like we can't even really do that because now they're working on the technology to be able to actively listen, and I'm putting that up in quotes, to actively listen to what is being played in the background, and anything that is considered licensed media will instantly cause your stream to be shut down. That's the next step that they're going to be taking. So right now they're hitting videos, VODs, they're muting stuff, and then they're going to actively start hitting your live streams as well.
Don't bother
Crazy.
me because I went to school. I learned about the laws. Although
I did.
I do break.
I mean, I understood, but I was like, maybe there's like a safe space here because it's like, it's just a bunch of kids having fun, or, just people just having fun, right? It's not. There's no malice in what we're doing, but
no such thing as fun.
They don't
Zero fun, sir.
Let me see. Angel started it. Let's talk about the reptilian agenda that are repressing mankind into anger and hate. Yo, there's an episode in the original Star Trek where they actually talk about that. Pretty wild, actually. It is pretty wild. I don't know, man. I think there's a reason why we start seeing certain things spoken about in bunches. Everything happens for a reason, man. Everything happens for a reason.
I was in the middle of drinking my water, and I only had one hand available, so I couldn't unmute myself. I just could play the song. So I threw on the Xbox theme song.
It's all gravy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty wild,
and then
man.
we just got taken down because the X-Files theme is copyrighted.
X-Files, I know, right? Just jacked us.
Well, see, that's what I like. I mean, for all that's bad about YouTube, and to a degree it is pretty bad, that the way they have it worked out with copyright. But you can at least use copyright and stuff, and then once it's like scanned and like, oh, this is copyrighted by this, you need to, and then they'll give you like the guidelines whether you can use it or not, and then they tell you that you're not going to be able to monetize it, and any ads would go to that person, which sucks in that way, but at least you'll still be able to use that. And that's how they circumvent that. But there's better ways.
Messed up too. That's messed up too, because you think about this person made a song, right? And they were paid for the song and they did whatever with the song. And now you have this content creator who, 10-minute video, 30-minute video at the tops, which probably cause what, eight hours worth of work, maybe more. They post it to YouTube and then they get nothing. They get nothing for that.
That's why you got to know the laws. You can't just be making stuff willy-nilly.
That's what I'm talking about. It's so who's really winning there, I don't know. It's terrible. I don't know. It's very difficult to be positive in a lot of this landscape right now because it's not about what's right. It's not about what's good. Those things don't matter. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So hopefully PS5 will come in and have some great games in 4K that we can all play and afford so that we can have an escape from the nonsense of this real world. There's a lot of nonsense that's happening here.
Talking about
I know, JD. I know. I need to get my ass in gear and start having videos. You're right. You're right. You're right. You gotta fight for your right to party. Yeah, we just got taken down.
I was trying to remember because I I make jokes that I read the laws and stuff, but I don't remember everything. I probably need to refresh, especially right now. In terms of just like the circumstantial plays and stuff, the things that just kind of happen that you have no control over. Like well, I guess it would in this instance.
Still get smashed.
Well, no,
So,
in Twitch wise, yeah, I know that, but in actuality wise, to some degree, it doesn't. In real life, doesn't have the same effect. Like news broadcasts and stuff. If they show something and something's going on, like say they're showing a clip of the protests or something, and Fight for Your Right happens to be playing in the background, they're not going to get dinged for that because of the form that the media is taking. They have no control over that.
There is man, now I can't remember what it was called, because creative, oh shit, what is it called?
Creative Commons. I don't know.
Because you can use, like, if you are using it and discussing,
well, that's fair use. That's fair use.
That's one, right? So you got the fair use. That's one way of doing it. And then the other way of doing it, right? If you are like, it's incidental.
I don't know.
Oh shit, I can't remember. I can't remember now. Then I think about it.
I'm gonna have to whip out my notes from college.
But fair use is the only one that allows you to have a workaround. But it's very specific though. Fair use is very specific. But having the music playing in the background while you're streaming is not fair use.
No, what? In regards to this podcast, which it'll definitely probably be dinged, this is a discussion or education, or so that should count. But in the current landscape of internet media, it will not. And we would, and when I upload stuff to YouTube, if I could monetize, we can't monetize because of how their system works. Even though it is fair use, and then you have to submit something, a dispute, like, hey, this is fair use, blah, blah, blah. But then you have to go through the process of doing that, and it's annoying for creators.
It's difficult. It's difficult,
unnecessarily difficult.
Even with music, right? So let's say I made a song, right? Let's say I made a song, and then I let you use it, and I'm like, yeah, man, you can use this song for whatever you're doing. But then let's say I get added to a label, and then the label gets control of my catalog, and therefore the license agreement that you had becomes null and void because now somebody else has purchased the catalog that was attached to a specific artist. It's crazy, man. The laws are crazy.
And it's not even just that. It's like these companies buy up crap they don't even care about just to get money off it from YouTube and stuff. And it's a copyright strike stuff.
It's money. Everything comes down to money. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. And Jeff's right. He's like, let me see. You make light of it, but a lot of folks are fighting for what's right now, and I hope they don't stop or it'll all be for nothing. That's true. People are fighting all the time to try and make things better in different ways for different things. You know, that is very true. And hopefully they do continue, because that is painful when you put in all of this work where you sacrifice. And then in the end, you realize that the sacrifice was all for naught. It's a very difficult realization. I'm not saying I have personal experience with giving up 20 years of my life, mental, physical wellness, sacrificing time with family, relationships, a marriage. And then in the end, I'm finding people yelling at each other for being racist and burning shit down. I'm not saying that that's on the same page, but I could understand why somebody would be upset. Maybe. Oh my gosh. Got to crack jokes or else you'll be upset. The world's a crazy place. And it's not in 4K, which sucks, right? Because we're supposed to be in 4K now.
I don't know. It's beyond 4K. What do you mean? We don't have to worry about it.
The graphics are terrible.
I mean, if you're me and I take out my contacts, the graphics are terrible.
Graphics suck. What is this, 320p? Blur effect?
It's worse than that. I can't even see anything. I think the closest I can see with my contacts is like right here. That's where my fingers are to my eyes. And then maybe I can see that.
Well, that's why I thought by 2020 we would be able to just like everything would be all bionic. Like I was watching the Bionic Woman back, well, I watched it in the 80s, but that was in the 70s, 2020, I thought that we would have bionic arms and be hoverboards and doing cool stuff like that, but it's basically the same shit. We're doing the same shit we were doing in the 80s, except now our cell phones make it easier for us to get stuck on the internet.
No, it's just, I don't know. Human beings are more tuned to hating each other versus, innovating, working together. I was talking about, I think it was Ryan's stream. We were talking about like if there's an alien invasion and would we be able to survive an alien invasion? I'm like, no, that requires us to work together. And that ain't happening.
Oh, I have this theory, right? Everything is being done on purpose, right? There's no such thing as coincidence in my world. No, theory means it's been proved. I guess it would be hypothesis, right? Hypothesis is when you're working on something.
Yes. Well, theory is kind of like a proved hypothesis.
A proved hypothesis, but my hypothesis has not been proved. That's why. So it's still in hypothesis stage, but there is always going to be something that will split us apart, which is done on purpose because it's easier to control the people who are split apart. And then when you want to put them together to move them towards a specific direction, then if you create a single villain, then that is what will allow people to work together despite all of the stuff that you've already created to set them apart. It's very simple.
Well, I don't think that will work anymore with the prevalence of internet. Because like if we want to take a certain point in time, 9/11 united America. Well, it was a way to unite America into a common enemy, but now with the ability to get information and have better understanding of what's going on in the world, I don't think something like that could work ever again. And that's kind of the breaking point now. Is like,
oh no, I'm actually on the opposite end. I think that the advent of the internet and the media companies has made it so much easier to control people.
I mean, it's easier to monitor. In that sense.
Yeah, no, it's very powerful. Like for a majority of people, their truth is what they see on the news. So there are people who just watch the news and they don't do their own research. So whatever they see on the news is what's going to be true, which is why you have people who will be like, no, eggs are not good for you. And then all of a sudden eggs were good for you, but then they're not good for you, but then they're good for you again. That's just one example, right?
That damn Dr. Oz. You need to get him off
what I mean? So you start looking at all that, and I think there's so much information that's out there that it becomes very difficult to be able to sift through all of it. And a lot of people don't want that. A lot of people prefer to have their information curated and delivered to them, and that's even if they're even concerned about that.
But I think that's mostly. Not true, because that's the case with social media as well. At a certain point, the majority of people find a way to just see what they want to see.
Yeah, it's the algorithms, man. Everybody's inside of their echo chambers. So I think the most important thing that we lost was being able to respectfully disagree with each other, but still be able to interact and respect each other. Like we could disagree with interests, belief systems, and all of that stuff, but still have a basic respect for one another. Where now, life has evolved into, well, if we don't agree, then obviously I have to hate you. Then we're, you know what I mean? And that's what we're running into now. But what I think is that it's so much easier to control people now because of the amount of information that's available, and then the ability to put information out there without it having to be vetted. So everybody has a voice now. And then the most impassioned people, or the people who are able to speak clearer to what it is that you want to read, they're the ones who are going to be able to control the masses. It's not necessarily about what's right or wrong. Sometimes it's about what makes more sense to me and my emotions. So if we have this problem right now, right? So we have people going against each other. It's like, all right, so blacks and whites are fighting. Well, let's interject the police. Well, now we all hate the police, and then we're all together. Now, if we have another existential crisis, everything else that used to separate us will now all of a sudden bring us together, as long as we have something to point our collective hate towards. So, case in point, there was I think it was back in 2013. It was before I went to Korea the first time. I went to one of those military retiree homes, and there was an old white guy there. He was 97 years old, and I was talking to him because he was at the height of racism. You know, racism was a huge thing when he was growing up. And I asked him, and I was asking him these very pointed questions, like how did he work in the military coming in, you know, as a racist? And he was like, yeah, when I first came in, I was very racist because that's how I grew up. But he said when we were over there, excuse my language, but he's like, when we were over there in the shit, I had to trust that the person to my left would do their job, and the person to my left had to trust that I was going to do my job so that we could both make it out of there alive. He said sometimes we would fight each other back at the barracks, you know, whites versus blacks. But he said when the bullets started flying, it's like none of that mattered. He's like, we just wanted to go back home alive. That's what I'm saying. That's what it is here with this stuff.
Oh, I adjusted my lighting, which I probably shouldn't have done.
It's his green screen and stuff going on in the
my
background.
green screen's
JD.
being stupid now.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, yeah, that's the general like consensus for anybody who's gone to war with anybody of any ethnicity, race, or whatever. The problem is when they came back in that time, and it just didn't matter to anybody else other than someone who had those experiences, and then they just continue on, and I don't know. It's
Well, that's what I'm hoping is going to happen now as a result of all this, that hopefully there'll be change. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that for those people who had to experience crisis, the crisis allows for clarity, and they're able to see past what society will build in order to try and control yourself, or in order to try and control people. But if you live crisis and you have a different perspective, then you're put back into a populace that hasn't experienced a legitimate crisis and they can't see beyond what they've been told to believe. Then yes, you're gonna have a lot of conflict. So you have people who are arguing against each other, you know, trying to identify some level of superiority. However, if they were involved in an accident or their family's in an accident and they needed blood at that critical point during the crisis, they're not concerned where that blood is coming from. They just want the blood to come in to save their loved one, right? So they're
in order for their about it. There's people that still think about it.
It all depends, right? It all depends on the crisis. Crisis is the cause for change. People have no reason to change outside of crisis. So once you're comfortable, there's no reason to change. That's why comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Right? Because if you're comfortable where you are, then there's really no reason for you to progress forward anymore. However, if you have conflict and crisis is the father of innovation, and that's what's going to push people to move forward. That's why life in the United States of America, or life for humanity in general, is cyclical. We go through crisis, we work through the crisis, we find a way to make things better, we become happy, we stagnate, and then we start to get unruly, and then, which leads us into a crisis, and then life is very cyclical. It's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yep. We ain't never gonna get no Star Trek lives.
Yeah, that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now, man. There were people, like when people were complaining about the masks, every military person out there was looking at these suckers like, listen, can you stop bitching? Watch. Like, did you see the Karen on the Facebook who was talking about she couldn't breathe, was getting lightheaded because she had the mask on for 5 minutes?
Try carrying like 40 pounds plus of equipment.
Right? I was like, can I spin kick this bitch in the throat? Like, I had to put on Mop 4, right? It's summertime in Korea. I'm wearing a whole chem suit with my mask on, and we got to push a plane back, an entire aircraft. We got to push that shit manually back into a hangar. Like, nah, come on, Karen. I'm gonna need you to shut your face up for a second. Crisis. Without proper crisis, without properly being tested, people are gonna bitch and complain about small stuff. But we also have to keep in mind that the small things that we might consider to be small, are incredible things to them. So I might have problems in my life that somebody who's been through crisis would look at and be like, why is Why is Angel worried about that right now? Life's good.
Yeah, why is
He needs
Angel
to just
worried
calm
about
down.
money? I was born rich.
Yeah, right? Shit. No. I guess like a better example would be somebody who had money, lost everything, was living homeless, and then worked their way back up to a comfortable life, right? So they would be like, yo, why are you complaining about, man?
That
You're
doesn't
not
happen.
sleeping on the
They
street.
just put the homeless person in jail.
You're fine. Like, you're good. Everybody has something, you know? Why is he concerned that he's going bald? He doesn't have to worry about that. His beard grows in pretty nice. He has a good life.
I don't know.
There's always something.
It's impossible to have some sort of crisis that affects everyone, literally everyone. No, not every single person can be affected by the same thing. That's why the change you're talking about I don't think can ever happen, because there's people that can still be protected from anything.
Right. So like, it would have to be something on a grand scale, right? So like, I don't know, having rain for 40 days and 40 nights, that kind of affected quite a few people. Oh shit. Anyways, but no, it has to be on a grand scale, right? Something that's on a grand scale. And I think here's my hypothesis. There's going to come a point where all of humanity is just going to get unruly because of the way things are going on. Makes people uncomfortable, right? It's just going to get worse and worse and worse, right? So there comes an end to oppression, right? At that point, that's where we're going to see the introduction of the aliens. Cue X-Files theme. Go.
Oh, damn it! I wasn't ready.
Oh, there we go.
Anyway,
So,
even then, that's not going to do anything. Because there's so many people are like, I already knew they had the aliens.
yeah,
and then there's going to be people who are going to still say, I don't believe there's aliens. It's all hoax by the government.
Yeah, there has to be something. I don't know, but that's really what it comes down to. So I tell people not to to focus more on what they can control in their world, right? You can control how you treat other people. You can control how you treat yourself. And if you can get enough people treating each other well, then that's how you can make some sort of significant change.
Ah, crap.
Damn!
Yeah, if only it were that simple.
We're talking about, when they released the UFOs? Yeah, I know. And nobody said anything. Nobody cared.
It was all old footage. Like I literally sent the video to a coworker who's always like talking about conspiracy theories and ghosts and stuff. And I knew it was like old footage or whatever, but I just sent it to him like, oh look, they finally admitted to it. He's like, man, I don't care about that. That was like 6 months ago. It got leaked on the internet. The only reason why they're putting that out there is to distract us. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then also to soften people up, right? Yo, you got to think. Look at the world from the perspective of the tyrant. If you look at the world as from the perspective of a tyrant, everything that's happened makes sense. Especially change too, right? Let's say as a parent, a lot of parents understand this. When you try and introduce something new to a child and it's very different from what they've been used to, those kids lose their minds. But if you do small introductions, like you give them small pieces of broccoli, then eventually they'll be okay with eating broccoli.
Or you just don't tell them what broccoli is, and
you don't say it,
and they'll eat it.
You put it in a casserole.
Exactly.
And they don't know.
And I'm like, you've been eating broccoli your whole life. What are you complaining now for?
Nuh-uh. Yeah, I don't think it's what it is. And then fatigue also comes into it, viewer fatigue as well. If there's too much of one thing, then the viewer gets tired of it. So it's a lot of negative stuff. That's why, you can only talk about Corona for so long before it stops scaring people. And then something else has to come in. So,
I mean, people are already ignoring it. I went to that wedding yesterday, and nobody, even the nurse that was there, didn't wear a mask. And I'm like, wow. There was one little girl who had a mask on, and that's it. And I'm like, well, we're all gonna die, so I
It is
guess
what it
I
is,
guess we might as well
man.
go out there and dance and enjoy it while we can.
It is what it is. Just got to be safe. Wash your hands. You know, you'll be all right. That, in case anybody is curious, that's exactly what my recommendation was in the very beginning of all this. So what they're telling people to do right now is what I've been talking about since the beginning, because I self-quarantine all the time.
I mean, I quarantine all the time, and I still find a way to get sick at conventions because some people don't take care of themselves.
Well, I mean, the con flu that's a very real thing. That's a super bug. You know what I mean? Super bug. But you have to keep in mind too, like you're being up for long hours. Like people don't sleep for 72 hours or something. Having a good time, you're partying, everybody's having fun. That's different. Let me see. What did he put there?
You're just talking about what I said about footage being old, and the importance of it exists, or the acknowledgement. But I don't know. We can't even confirm it was aliens. All we know is it's an unidentified flying object. I just want to say, until they land, they come out of that damn ship, and nobody shoots them long enough to have them talk to us. Then I will believe that we have met aliens, and they admit that they've visited us before. But other than that, I'm gonna wait and see.
No, there's nothing wrong with skepticism, but it's just interesting that it was such a hard turn from them denying UFOs for years, and then now they're like, no, they're real. But I don't know. I don't always believe that the UFOs are like extraterrestrials. I think there's also military aircraft that we work on that would seem pretty wild to a regular person. You know what I mean?
Or just random crap in the sky.
Yeah, it could be random. It could be extraterrestrials too, but no
maybe,
one. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe random crap that they left. But like I said, I wanna see an alien living, breathing. I want to touch elbows with a living, breathing alien.
Maybe, man, the shape-shifting reptilians. There you go. There's another conspiracy theory. But the conversation didn't even come up, like the possibility of what could be. But that conversation is rough to have, though, and that's. I don't know. I think we're starting to go off on a tangent. We were talking about PlayStation, and
yeah,
now
we're
to
gone.
get into
I don't even know how we got here.
the depths of deep thoughts.
Blame Blue Cheese, who's not even here. She was like, I want to prove that guy was fake or not. And then we started talking about conspiracy theories, and we got here.
It's just crazy because if you introduce something that
I stand corrected.
legitimately tears down everything that people believe in, and then you take away the belief structures and their truths, then that introduces a level of chaos that a lot of people are not ready for.
And what's more to the fire? What's more to the fire?
Yeah, because it's very difficult to understand how unprepared people are for truth. Because the identities of who we are and what we do is ingrained within what we've been told to believe or told to be, you know? So that's why it can be difficult for some military people to retire. You know, once you take away that structure of the military, because it is a belief structure. It's a philosophy. It's a way of living. To some, it's even a theology, you know? But you take that away, and that structure is taken away, and all of a sudden they go from being this person to being something completely different, almost nothing. That's hard. That's a very difficult thing for them to stomach. You know, and that's just going from one profession to, you know, leaving a profession to going back into the general populace and being a civilian. It's very difficult. I'm probably gonna have to take some time to try and articulate that one point. To articulate what it means to go from being a military veteran, someone who was in 10 years or less, to someone who was in for a lifetime, right? 20 to 30 years, and crossing back over into being a civilian, because they're all different. They're different types of persons, and civilians are very different. And then civilians have like subcultures within their own makeup, so it's very difficult to make the transition. But I bring that on. The only reason why I bring that up, though, is to say, imagine, for instance, if you have people who are diehard religious fanatics, and then all of a sudden they realize that everything that they've ever believed and all of their actions was based off of a lie. How detrimental would that be to a substantial parts of the population?
Hey,
I'm not saying it is or not. I'm just saying the amount of chaos, confusion, depression, and all of that. What would happen? You know. So there's something bigger that's going on. Life is very simple, but we've made it so complicated that truth is a relative term. What people are prepared for are relative. You know, look what happened with the toilet paper shortage for respiratory disease.
I mean, that's your example right there of what could happen. I mean, we've seen it. We know what nonsense. So that's just like a drop in the water. You just multiply that, and you'll know what will happen. You can see it coming.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Screen's a little too far. You're engaging in a slippery slope. I'm not saying hell yeah, it's aliens. I'm saying that regardless of the footage being old, the fact that the Pentagon finally acknowledged with evidence that they interacted with life that, as far as we know, wasn't from Earth. It may be a small thing, but it is something to pay attention to. Yeah, no, absolutely. It absolutely is worth paying attention to. You know, in terms of trying to understand the landscape of what is happening, because again, there are no coincidences, and everything is done on purpose, especially when we're talking about at that level. There is a specific reason as to why they release specific amounts of information at specific times. And then also by releasing something powerful during the time that something else powerful is going on, they have the effect to mitigate the significance of each other, is what it is. And then you can control what is being mitigated by the release, right? So if you're releasing information in the middle of a pandemic, then the significance of the information that you're releasing, if it's not as important as what's happening right now, can be pushed off to the side, you know? So yeah, there are no coincidences.
Which is what happened with this Pentagon stuff. It was at the beginning of the pandemic, and they're like, we're going to release this, but it had no effect because it was less significant.
Yeah, it's less significant. So I'm not worried about aliens when I'm worried about, you know, my daughter dying from a disease that we don't know about, that we don't know how it's transmitted and everything else, right? That's what happened. So everything's done on purpose. Everything's done on purpose. The strikes for money, for music, that done on purpose, and it's happening at a very specific time when the shift. I don't know, I talk about this too, but there's a shift in how life is happening right now. So for years we were told that we have to go into a workplace, right? You have to go to work in order to work. You have to go to a school. There has to be brick and mortar. All of this stuff has to happen. And then all of a sudden during this pandemic, we realized, well, no, a lot of this shit that we do is not really necessary. You know? You know what I'm saying? So, but that changes the structure of things. Gotta kind of calm that down if you're not ready for the new world. A whole new world.
I mean, I don't know. I just.
Anyways, everybody can't be a streamer.
Especially us.
We're terrible. We're terrible at it, bro. We're terrible.
I'm just getting hungry.
Let's go. It's a good place to stop because we started on PlayStation 5, which I absolutely am going to buy, even though I am oftentimes against being a day one tech adopter. I'm oftentimes against that, but for me, I think the benefits outweigh the cons because it's legitimately a hardware upgrade for me. So I'm looking at it. Did they release price points? I don't think they did.
No, not yet.
No.
There was a retailer, but they're not really. They can't really be trusted since they're more of like a third-party, a reseller type of thing. They put up like $700, but we'll see.
And again, that's on purpose too. That's if I was the head, real talk, I would be talking to the head of Microsoft. I'd be like, listen, bro, honestly, this whole me versus you, it's bullshit. We both need to make money. Right? This is exactly what I would say to him. I'd be like, listen, here's what's gonna do. Let's play this up to make it look like we're against each other, like the WWE. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna script it. I don't know how much you're selling yours for. I don't know what I need to sell mine for, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna test this number to see what people say, and then we'll dance around that number. What does that sound like? And they were like, hell yeah, I just want this money. Let's go.
Yeah.
They release it $700 to see what people are gonna say.
The thing that is gonna bug me is that digital only one is gonna be probably the one that everybody goes with, just because it's gonna be like $50 cheaper, and then that's gonna be how they eliminate physical media. It's gonna be the death of it. They're gonna try to kill it like that. But you can't.
I see nothing wrong with that.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong because they're gonna be charging us for games that we don't own, and then we don't get anything out of it. It's wrong, and the same price.
That's what's wrong. Like if it's all digital in a perfect world.
But I also like having something to hold. It's sentimental to me.
I know.
Speaking of
I
which,
wish I had something to hold. I love cuddling.
Yeah, that too. I cuddle with my Xbox every night. Is what Hario would say right now. Because I'm a Microsoft weeb over here.
PlayStation till next generation, we'll see. But PlayStation this generation.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I would want to buy it at the start because there's no need. After watching that, I haven't played Horizon yet, so there's no need for me to upgrade. Actually, I would probably get the PlayStation just because I can trade in the PlayStation 4 to upgrade. Because that was my intention all along when I bought the PlayStation 4 is like, buy it now, get like the trade-in bonus when I reserve it at GameStop, and then just upgrade to the 5. So that's something I could get day one, but other than that, Xbox, unless I have a 4K TV by the time that comes out and the experience is there, there's no reason for me to get it. Ow.
Yeah, I think you said it good. It's just a hardware upgrade for me, which is is really the only reason. If I had one of those PlayStation Pros, then there wouldn't be as much of a push to get the new one. But yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to be trading in my PS4 because I kind of like having them to look at.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
And I'm the same way. And Blue and Cheese was talking about regretting trading in the PlayStation 2 and 3. I'm the same way in that regard. It's just that I specifically bought it to trade it in eventually.
Trade it, yeah.
But
that's
like,
okay.
But like for the Xbox, now then again, I did trade in the original Xbox One because I hated that piece of shit, and it was, and it never fucking worked.
Yeah.
I was ready to throw that out the window driving by GameStop, just to be like, here, I don't care if you give me a penny for it, just take it. Because it couldn't load the goddamn menu. What the hell is the point of me using it or keeping it? But I'm not going to be trading in this Xbox One X. So yeah, I try to hold on to everything I can, if I can. But that's kind of hard. Eventually, when things start to break down, and you're like, well, crap.
Yeah. That could be a conversation all in itself. Going from like the big push to digital media. That definitely could be something what we could talk about next week.
You want to bring it back up?
Yeah, I mean, well, because it's a very real thing.
Well,
right?
I mean, we talked about it on episode 2 of the Common Fury podcast, which you can go check out now on YouTube.
Yeah, like I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just it's not good for the people right now. That's the problem.
But that's like,
I mean,
it goes back to what you were saying, the conspiracy theories conversation we were saying, or the time and place for things is like, that's the whole point of like our society is to move away from consumer friendly policies and products.
It is. People are very willing to trade freedoms and control in reference, for comfort. It's very easy to give people. Yeah. So people will willingly give up their freedoms and give up control if you offer them safety and convenience. That's what we're seeing here. And that happens a lot. That's deep. That's deep. That's a conversation in itself, especially when it starts getting into relationships. Yo, that's deep. That's a slippery slope right there. But they do, right? Because people would be like, well, if it's all digital, then it means I could download whatever I want to play and I could play it wherever I am. I don't have to bring my entire collection everywhere as I'm traveling the world and all that jazz. And I was listening to a TED Talk where they were talking about that they're working on consoles that are going to be able to work on the phone networks to eliminate the need to be stuck with an ISP and having to use cable and an Ethernet cable. So you'll be able to play video games over the bandwidth and connect it to the cell phone towers and then be able to play that way. And then just think about how revolutionary that can be.
Well, then they're the ISP, and then they take over.
You see, there you go.
But
this is what I'm talking about.
And
Crazy.
Also, there's more latency. No.
Well,
stop making me mad.
There is right now, right? So there is right now. If we're basing a lot of the conversation off of the networks that we have developed now, especially here in the United States of America, then yeah, that's a terrible situation, because the networks here in the States are terrible. It's embarrassing how bad they are. But if you go to another nation like South Korea, Singapore, Japan, right, their internet over there is out of control, and their phones are out of control as well. So their phones will be pulling down the internet speeds that we're using with plug-in cable. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if the network is there, well, then that changes everything. Imagine if you are on your cell phone and you were able to download 400 megabytes per second, right? So you're downloading at the same speed and processing data at the same speed that you are with your ISP.
I mean,
that changes the game.
You get the same speeds, but you don't have. There's a difference between latency as well, in terms of like a wireless connection versus a wired connection. And for myself, in terms of like gaming and stuff, I wouldn't want to rely on that even for the most part with like a Google Stadia or something. But we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, but you see where I'm going, bro.
We keep like piling on. We're like, well, let's not. We'll worry about this later. But then this thing, and then we'll worry about that. But then this thing.
These are all. Let me write these notes right meow, because I'm gonna forget this stuff. Can I go ahead and mark this as safe to delete? Can I delete all of this stuff that we have here? I think so.
There's hold on. There's nothing
PS4
really,
notes.
there's not really anything I'll be writing down. It's just we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 mostly, so yeah, you're good. But anyway, while he's doing that, I guess we can wrap it up. No, you're good. There's nothing.
Okay.
So Angel, what are you doing this week, streaming wise?
So streaming, I don't know, man. Like my last week, the game selection didn't go how I wanted it to, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to be streaming. I finished Bloodborne, I finished Minecraft. Now I don't know if I'm going to be streaming it, but I will be playing it because I want to get the platinum for it because it's adorable. I do have Star Wars Battlefront 2 that I need to finish, so maybe I will stream that on Monday. I'll do the campaign because I was actually enjoying the campaign for that. Besides that, I am not sure what I'm going to be streaming. So that's up in the air. That's up in the air. Oh, Control. Yeah, that might be it. I might be streaming Control.
Is that on PlayStation now?
Yes, it is.
Oh, dang. Oh, that's
yes,
right.
it is, playa.
I guess they did kind of have a partnership for that, so that makes sense.
Well, PlayStation Now isn't like, because there's a difference between the games that you can play that you have to stream versus the games that you're able to download. So the library for downloadable titles is a lot smaller. But it just so happened that Control is one of those that you can download and be able to play. So maybe that's what I'll jump on. But I'm definitely finishing Monday. I'm definitely finishing Star Wars Battlefront 2 because that's been fun. The story has been fun. And then I don't know. I'll probably jump into something past that. I don't know. Come check it out.
Well, I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't even find time to stream. I've been working on some offline stuff, getting ready for maybe the next generation or next phase of streaming. So be on the lookout for that, maybe. I need to finish, I don't know. I'll try finish Wander Song, maybe finish Overcooked 2, maybe start. Actually, no. You know, Last of Us 2 comes out on Friday. That's what I'm gonna be playing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. The reviews have been. They say it's good, but I don't know. I'm gonna wait on that one.
I don't care about reviews. You know, I don't. I just play stuff, and then be upset about it when it sucks. But yeah, and then maybe I'll try No Man's Sky out finally after all the hate over the years that I've directed at that game. I'll give it a try. I'll give it the old college try and say for sure if it sucks or not.
They made some major changes to it though.
It's not even the same game. That's the problem. I can't hate on it for being what it originally was.
Yeah,
but I can definitely not pay money for it. But yeah, that's gonna be it.
So what we're gonna talk about? So is it pros and cons of digital gaming and then owning media versus consuming media?
I don't even know.
Is that what we talked about?
No. I'll let you know when I watch the replay of this.
Damn it! Damn it! Why are we so old? Forgetting things. Chat, where you at? Anywho's. Thanks for being a part of Calm and Fury.
Are you gonna take us out?
No, bro, that's your job.
No, it's too late. You started it.
I just smile at you when you do it. That's my job.
You started it. You might as well finish it.
What do you say? You're like, thank you for watching Calm and Fury. I'm YourFace. To my left.
I'm YourFace.
That is Trindominus. You can catch us on our social medias down there. I still have to update my social media. That's not right. But you can catch his.
Right? Oh, that's.
I know that's what you were saying before.
No, I fixed mine, as you can tell.
I'm being you. I'm being you right now.
Oh, you want me? How about I move my mouth while you talk? How about that?
Now it's weird. Now it's weird. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out with us. I'm Trindominus. That's YourFace. He's the Calm. I'm the Fury. You guys were entertained, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend, where you guys are entertained yet again. We're out.